The sun was beginning to set over the quiet town, casting golden hues across the streets lined with freshly planted trees and new sidewalks. At the end of Willow Lane, a large, newly built house stood proudly a dream house for the Martinez family. It was their fresh start after years of hard work, sacrifices, and hoping for a place to call their own. Inside the house, boxes were scattered everywhere. The sound of children's laughter echoed as Mateo and his little sister, Sofia, ran through the empty rooms, imagining the memories they would create here. Their parents, Carlos and Elena, moved slowly but with purpose, unpacking and arranging the things that would soon fill the house with warmth and love. But there was one thing missing: a companion who would complete their family. Just a few miles away at the town's animal shelter, a dog named Lucky lay quietly in a kennel. His fur was matted and dusty, his eyes tired but still shining with hope. Lucky wasn't always alone. Once he had a family who loved him, but circumstances had torn them apart. Now weeks had passed, and Lucky waited patiently for someone to notice him for a second chance. The shelter was busy that day, with volunteers bustling around, but Lucky's calm demeanor caught the eye of one young volunteer named Mia. She approached his kennel with a gentle smile, kneeling down to meet his gaze. "Hey, buddy," she whispered softly. "You're a good boy. Someone's going to give you a home soon, I promise." Lucky wagged his tail slightly, sensing kindness in her voice. That evening, the Martinez family decided to visit the shelter. They had talked about adopting a dog for a while, but the timing had never been right until now. Elena held Sofia's hand tightly as they walked between rows of cages. Mateo's eyes scanned every dog, hoping to find the perfect match. When they reached Lucky's kennel, Carlos stopped. There was something about the dog's calm, soulful eyes that captured his heart immediately. "Let's spend some time with him," Carlos suggested. A shelter worker brought Lucky out, and he approached the family cautiously. Sofia knelt down, offering her hand for Lucky to sniff. The dog hesitated, then slowly leaned forward, his tail wagging softly. "He's gentle," Sofia said, smiling. Mateo threw a ball across the room, and Lucky eagerly chased after it, bringing it back with surprising energy. It was the first spark of joy the dog had shown in weeks. Back in their new house, the Martinez family sat together, discussing the decision. They all felt it Lucky belonged with them. They agreed to adopt him, hoping to give him the love and stability he had missed. The next morning, Lucky stepped into the house for the first time. His paws touched the shiny wooden floors, his nose twitched as he sniffed new scents. The house was big and quiet, but filled with hope. Sofia immediately claimed the corner by the window as Lucky's spot. She placed a soft blanket there and sat beside him, reading stories while Lucky listened quietly, comforted by her voice. Days turned into weeks. Lucky adjusted to his new life with the Martinez family. He learned the sound of the doorbell, the creak of the stairs, the rhythm of their daily routine. At first, he was shy around visitors, but the Martinez children's laughter made him brave. Mateo taught him to play fetch in the backyard, and Lucky would run until he collapsed happily in the grass. Carlos took him on long walks through the neighborhood, and Elena made sure his meals were warm and nutritious. Lucky's fur began to shine again, and his eyes sparkled with life. The scars of his past slowly faded as he embraced the love that surrounded him. One afternoon, as the family gathered in the living room, a sudden storm rolled in. Thunder rumbled in the distance, and the rain started to pour heavily against the windows. Sofia grew nervous and clung to Lucky, who responded by nuzzling her gently. His protective instinct kicked in, and he settled beside her, a steady presence in the frightening storm. Carlos smiled, watching the bond between his daughter and the dog grow stronger each day. Weeks later, the family celebrated Lucky's Gotcha Day, the anniversary of the day they brought him home. They decorated the house with balloons and made a special cake just for him. Sofia wrapped a handmade collar around his neck, embroidered with the word lucky and a small heart. That night, as the family sat together in the backyard under the stars, Lucky lay contentedly by their side. It was more than just a house now. It was a home filled with love, hope, and new beginnings. Lucky had found his forever family, and the Martinez family had found a loyal companion who would stand by them through every chapter of life.